Now, Elon Musk is a remarkable guy. He comes from South Africa, and he's now an American citizen. And he's the richest man in all history. He's done a lot of things. Now, full disclosure, not everyone loves Elon Musk. He has become a conservative, and he supported Donald Trump's run for president. And of course, half of America love Donald Trump. Half of America do not like Donald Trump.
Prince Harry has officially picked a fight with the richest man in the world, and this may be the confrontation that finally blows apart the carefully polished image Harry and Meghan have spent years desperately trying to protect. Through his Archewell Philanthropies Foundation, Harry unleashed a blistering public statement condemning Elon Musk's legal effort to block a Minnesota law targeting non-consensual AI imagery, effectively accusing the trillionaire technology mogul of placing corporate power above human safety. That was not a cautious policy disagreement whispered through advisors. It was a direct challenge, delivered publicly against a man with extraordinary resources, control of a global platform, and a reputation for refusing to retreat when attacked. Harry appeared ready to present himself as the fearless defender of digital ethics, but one enormous question immediately exploded beneath that performance. Did Harry truly understand the battle he had just entered? Or did the craving for another dramatic headline push Harry toward an opponent capable of dismantling the entire argument before the applause had even faded?
The Sussexes are now at war with Elon Musk. Yes, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's charitable foundation, Archewell Philanthropies, has published a statement in regards to online child safety, praising Minnesota's decision to outlaw AI notification applications. Archewell said that big tech has taken shocking steps to limit restrictions on or accountability for these objectively predatory AI product features. The trillionaire leader of the tech companies responsible for X's Grok sued the state of Minnesota to stop the law from going into place.
The silence from Elon Musk only made the situation feel more dangerous, because silence from a figure that powerful does not necessarily signal defeat. It can signal calculation. While Harry tried to seize the moral high ground, experienced observers began asking why a prince whose independent ventures have repeatedly struggled would provoke someone with global platform control and virtually unlimited capacity to respond. What if no dramatic counterattack was needed? What if the contradiction inside Harry's campaign was already doing the damage? The accusation suggested technology companies were escaping accountability, yet Harry offered no detailed technical system, enforceable framework, or convincing explanation of how innovation and lawful expression should be balanced. Instead, the statement relied on emotionally loaded warnings about vulnerable people and children, creating the appearance of urgency while leaving the hardest legal questions unanswered. That gap was impossible to ignore, and the harder the declaration tried to sound, the more the missing substance began to resemble the real scandal. The dispute centered on the trillionaire leader of the tech companies responsible for X's Grok suing Minnesota to prevent the law from taking effect. But the legal argument was far more complicated than the explosive accusation suggested. Elon Musk's position was not publicly framed as permission for illegal online abuse. The argument concerned the United States First Amendment, free expression, unclear legislative language, and the danger of government restrictions becoming broader than the conduct they were supposedly designed to stop. X and Grok already maintained enforcement measures against accounts involved in illegal activity, which meant the real debate required precision, constitutional understanding, and a serious discussion about how targeted protections could exist without establishing sweeping censorship mechanisms. Yet Harry did not enter that difficult territory. Harry reached instead for the familiar language of profits versus people, reducing an enormously complex dispute to a dramatic moral slogan. It sounded powerful for a moment, but was it advocacy or another carefully packaged performance built to make Montecito appear influential again? The contradiction became even harder to hide when privacy entered the conversation. Harry and Meghan have repeatedly demanded boundaries, condemned invasive attention, and presented themselves as victims of relentless exposure. Yet their own commercial storytelling has repeatedly depended upon carefully controlled revelations about private life. That history changes how every new lecture is received. An audience once prepared to sympathize now examines every statement for hypocrisy, and the smallest inconsistency becomes an explosive clue. Why demand silence from critics while using public declarations to condemn other people? Why insist that personal boundaries are sacred while transforming grievances, relationships, and private experiences into valuable global content? These questions were already haunting their brand before this confrontation began. By challenging the most visible technology billionaire on the planet, they dragged every unresolved contradiction straight back into the spotlight. And then the larger pattern emerged. The podcasts were canceled, streaming arrangements appeared to be losing momentum, and commercial lifestyle ambitions had not produced the unstoppable empire once predicted. So digital activism offered a new stage. If royal authority had vanished and Hollywood dominance had failed to materialize, moral authority over Silicon Valley could become the next reinvention. Target famous technology leaders, issue urgent declarations, and convince international audiences that Montecito remains essential to the world's most important conversations. But this gamble carried a brutal risk. Elon Musk did not need royal approval, Hollywood access, or favorable palace briefings. Harry had thrown the first public blow, yet the unanswered question now hung over everything: what happens if the sleeping giant finally decides to answer? Elon Musk did not need an enormous publicity operation to answer the attack because the contradictions surrounding Harry were already creating the counteroffensive. The reality was savage. Elon Musk could dismantle Harry's position without appearing to break a sweat. Harry and Meghan had repeatedly lectured the public about children's privacy and digital exposure, yet Archie and Lilibet appeared in documentary footage, photographs, and carefully controlled family content designed to generate worldwide curiosity. Sometimes faces were obscured or children were filmed from behind, but that only intensified public fascination. How could Harry demand digital boundaries while private family life became monetized entertainment? How could Meghan condemn intrusive attention while controlled access remained commercially valuable? The public saw the contradiction immediately, especially after Harry disclosed private conversations, personal substance use, and intimate family details inside Spare. If the British press was not responsible, the royal family was blamed. If the royal family was not responsible, the legal system became the enemy. And when those grievances stopped dominating headlines, big tech and Elon Musk suddenly entered the firing line. The financial pressure made the confrontation appear even more reckless. Harry had lost expensive legal battles, including the fight surrounding police protection, while newspaper cases created further exposure and uncertainty. Why did someone without legal, technological, or policy training keep entering battles against institutions possessing extraordinary resources? The answer appeared buried inside years of royal protection. Harry spent decades surrounded by aides, security teams, and public relations specialists who softened consequences and cleared obstacles, possibly creating the belief that personal conviction carried the weight of universal truth. But outside that protected system, emotional declarations were not enough. Real technology policy required evidence, engineering knowledge, constitutional precision, and workable solutions. The Archewell statement offered dramatic questions about AI and children, yet Montecito provided no technical framework capable of solving the crisis. Meanwhile, Prince William was quietly preparing for kingship, meeting international leaders and advancing the Earthshot Prize, while William built authority through duty rather than online conflict. King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, and Princess Catherine continued working without Harry and Meghan. Exposing the truth Harry could not escape, the monarchy had not collapsed after the departure. Worse still, concerns remained over Harry serving as a counselor of state, because Prince William could eventually face the possibility of Harry holding constitutional powers during an emergency. Meghan Markle therefore remained part of a much larger anxiety surrounding the future reign. That growing irrelevance appeared to trigger another desperate strike. Harry targeted Elon Musk, hoping that a response would return Harry to the center of global conversation, but Silicon Valley and Hollywood judge people through results, reliability, and commercial value. SpaceX and Tesla represented creation on a scale royal titles could not imitate. Executives watching Prince Harry publicly attack Elon Musk could easily wonder whether any future partner might become the next public target. That fear may explain why elite invitations appeared to disappear, and why California's most powerful circles seemed increasingly distant. Financial rumors only deepened the pressure, with speculation about another memoir, a Meghan book, further documentaries, and Project Diana. Lady C even became part of the wider political question. Was Meghan preparing a future political identity, perhaps even considering governor of California? Or were Harry and Meghan simply determined to comment on every issue while demanding privacy whenever scrutiny turned toward them? The protective machinery once built Harry into a beloved figure, but after leaving London, the unfiltered Prince Harry emerged resentful, combative, and endlessly searching for validation. Harry exposed private medical moments, mocked William, described arguments with King Charles, and delivered accusations beside Oprah Winfrey. Yet the promised freedom never arrived. The family relationship shattered, credibility collapsed, and global sympathy began turning into ridicule. Now, Elon Musk stands at the center of the newest confrontation, and the most dangerous question remains unanswered. Did Harry start another battle before realizing that this opponent might finally finish it?